Hi guys, it's a little after 3 p.m. right now. As you can see, I'm in the cemetery. I'm in my hometown. I drove here because I wanted to visit my mom. I used to come up here all the time and see her, but obviously when I lived in Idaho, I was never up here. Now I'm like 30 minutes away, so I don't really come up here that often, even now. So I wanted to make a trip down here to see her. I'm not getting out because it's way cold outside, and I'm in a sweater, yes, but it's thin and it's not really that warm, and I'm just wearing like thin leggings and Crocs. So yeah, maybe I'll get out and show you guys her headstone. But I just cried. As soon as I saw her headstone, I started crying. It never gets easier seeing your parents' name and their death date on a rock. It doesn't get easier. I cried to her, talked to her, and said, like, Mom, like, I miss you. I wish you were here. I need your help. You didn't deserve going through what you went through, and I'm sorry you had to do that. And I just said, like, I hope you're listening. I hope you're here and with me in this moment, because it really sucks without you here. And yeah, my mom went through hell before she died, and like absolute hell. And she fought with everything she had in her, and she fought until she couldn't fight anymore. And I think that's the hardest part. Just knowing that her body just gave up and it said, I've had enough, I can't do this, and she passed away. And unfortunately, it was way sooner than any of us expected. We all had, like, every thought that she would live. We thought she was going to survive. We never thought that death was going to be the way it was going to go. And then we got the phone call and rushed to the hospital and said our goodbyes, and just like that, she was gone. She fought for 6 years. She was diagnosed in 2010 in October, and she died in July of 2016. So she died just after I finished my sophomore year. So I finished the last 2 years of high school without my mom. I went to part of college without my mom. She's not here to meet Beebs, which is unfortunate. She never met my sister's current partner. She didn't get to go to my sister's graduation. She didn't get to go to my graduation, which is one of the things I think in life that she was looking forward to the most, was seeing her babies graduate. She was so like focused on our education. She always made it a priority. Even for us, she made sure it was a priority. Like, we'd get our phones taken away if we had bad grades. Like, all she wanted us to do was succeed. And in the moment, I thought that she was being like rude or inconsiderate, but now I get it. She just wanted us to be successful. And in July of 2026, it will be 10 years since she died, and it's crazy the life I've lived since she died and what I've gone through since then, that she wasn't here to help me through. And I don't care how old you are, if you're male or female, you always need your mom. I think a mother is essential in anyone's life, and to anybody that doesn't have a mother, that's so sad, and I feel bad for you. Mothers are just incredible, and I know exactly the amount of love they give, because since my mom died, I've also become a mother. And that's another thing she didn't get to do, was meet my daughter and know that my daughter is named after her. Now she knows that, obviously. But I just kind of really thinking about her more than usual today, and I'm so thankful for my knowledge of eternal families. That knowledge was given to me by my mom and my dad as well. And I'm thankful that I know that I'll be with her again and I'll see her again. We'll get to reunite when I pass my test. I can join her. And I've thought many, many times, I don't want to trigger anybody, so trigger warning. If you don't like mention of suicide, click out of this video. I will see you next time. I've thought about suicide, and I've thought, like, why would I stay here and be miserable if I could just end it and go find my mom? But then I realized, like, that's not the way to do it. That's not what she would want. She would be very disappointed and sad that it came to that. And I remember in one of the last conversations I had with her while she was actually awake, it was the last conversation. They had her sitting up. It was right after she got her LVAD, and she was at IMC in Murray, and she was sitting up, and my sister and dad had already said, "I love you, bye, we'll see you tomorrow." And they walked out of the room, and I leaned down to give my mom a hug and tell her I love her. And she kind of held me there and wouldn't let me go. Like, she had all of her strength holding me there. She didn't have very much strength at that point. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I remember most of it. She said, "I love you so much, baby. Like, no matter what happens to me, don't let it define you. Don't let it ruin your life. Don't let it control you. Don't lose your personality. Don't lose your spirit. Keep the faith always. It's hard, but do it." And ever since she said those words, I've clung on to them for almost 10 years now, because not only did she give me lifelong advice, and the last advice I would ever hear from her, but it's also the last time I heard her say "I love you." And obviously I said it again when I said my goodbyes. I said it over and over and over again. I remember whispering in her ear. She was on life support after she had the stroke during the artificial heart surgery, and they basically had told us that there was no way she was surviving. Like, she was not there anymore, or at least they didn't think so. They had her on pain medication because they told us, like, we don't know if she's in pain. We don't know if she's conscious enough to feel pain. But if she is, we want her to be comfortable when she passes. So they had her on a bunch of different pain medications. But I remember I held her hand and I squeezed her hand and let her know that I was there. And I said, "Mom, I'm here. I love you so much. I'm proud of you. It's okay to let go. I know you're in pain. I know that you fought so hard, and it's okay to say goodbye. We're not ready, but we'll get through it. It's not our choice." And I just said over and over and over again how much I loved her, and I hope she heard every single word. I know she did. I know she was at least there enough to hear what I had to say, what my sister had to say, what my grandma had to say, what my dad said to her. And it's just been really hard. I will get out and show you her headstone. This is the cemetery that she's buried in. I'm not going to say which cemetery it is, but it's in my hometown, and her headstone is over here right next to my Aunt Katie's, which is her sister. They died a month apart, almost exactly. a month and 2 days apart. But this is my mama's headstone. This is where she's resting. I miss her so much. Yeah, and then my dad, when he goes, will be buried there. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. Don't know what I would do without my dad, but yeah, I love you, Mom, and I'm here, I promise. A beautiful soul right there. She was absolutely amazing, and so was she. I miss them both, but especially her right now. So I'm going to end this, but I love you. Don't take your family for granted, and I will see you next time. Bye.